The film begins with the voice of Ben Willis, a young art student who reflects on how time behaves in strange ways. Sometimes it moves painfully slow, and sometimes it disappears too fast. For Ben, time became his enemy the night his girlfriend Susie broke up with him. Their relationship, once full of passion, had turned toxic and bitter. After one final argument, Susie leaves him for good. The heartbreak is devastating. Ben finds himself unable to sleep. Night after night, he lies awake, trapped in endless hours of silence. It feels as though he has been cursed with 8 extra hours a day, with nothing to fill the time. To deal with his insomnia, Ben takes a night job at Sainsbury's supermarket. The night shift becomes his strange new world, populated with quirky characters. There's Barry and Matt, 2 immature men who turn every task into a joke. They prank each other, chase women, and cause chaos. Their antics often collide with Jenkins, the strict and bitter supervisor who believes the store is his kingdom. And then there's Sharon, a quiet and kind checkout girl whose presence begins to stand out to Ben. At first, Ben is consumed by boredom. The hours stretch on endlessly, but soon he reveals something unique. He can freeze time in his imagination. It's not supernatural. It's how he perceives the world. He pictures the supermarket and its people completely frozen, still as statues, while he alone moves freely. In these moments, he studies details others ignore: a loose strand of hair, the fall of fabric, the subtle beauty in ordinary gestures. These frozen visions fuel his art. Ben is a painter, and sketching these moments gives his insomnia purpose. For him, every frozen figure is like a living painting, full of stories hidden in their stillness. His sketchbook fills with drawings from these imagined pauses in time. He reflects on his past, too. As a child, Ben grew up with separated parents. Drawing became his escape, his way of controlling a world that often felt out of control. His love for art isn't about nudity or desire, but about truth. He sees the human body as a canvas of emotions and life itself. Slowly, Sharon begins to notice him. Her calm smile and gentle nature contrast sharply with the childish Barry and Matt. One night, as the team cleans up, Sharon shares a small but warm moment with Ben. Time, once a source of pain for him, now feels softer in her presence. Meanwhile, Barry and Matt drag Ben into their nonsense. Soccer games in the aisles, throwing products around, endless attempts to impress women. Though Ben doesn't fully participate, he observes. Even in their immaturity, he finds strange meaning. People invent chaos to make time bearable, but Susie's shadow lingers. Flashbacks show their relationship unraveling, the fights, the jealousy, and the loneliness that crept in. Ben is haunted by these memories. Yet each moment with Sharon hints at the possibility of healing. One evening, Sharon helps him with stocking shelves. The conversation is simple, but Ben feels something he hasn't felt since Susie: comfort. She teases him lightly, and for the first time, he laughs without bitterness. Meanwhile, Barry and Matt continue their outrageous antics. Back in the supermarket, Jenkins tries to humiliate Ben in front of Sharon. He makes sarcastic remarks about Ben's quietness, calling him weak. But Sharon steps in subtly, supporting Ben without directly confronting Jenkins. It's a small gesture, but Ben notices. He realizes Sharon sees him, not just as another co-worker, but as someone worth defending. Later, Ben and Sharon share a night walking home together. They talk about simple things: childhood, school, and their future dreams. Ben admits he studies art and shows her some of his sketches. She's impressed, telling him he has real talent. For Ben, this moment is powerful. Susie had often dismissed his passion, but Sharon values it. Their connection deepens, but Ben is still cautious. His fear of heartbreak holds him back. In his voiceover, he admits that time makes everything fragile, and he is terrified of losing happiness again. One night, as Ben freezes time, he focuses entirely on Sharon. He sketches her carefully, her expressions, her posture, the light in her eyes. When time resumes, he looks at her differently. He realizes he has begun to fall in love. Susie briefly reappears in Ben's life, trying to stir jealousy. She mocks his night job, making him feel small. But unlike before, Ben doesn't crumble. Sharon's presence has given him new strength. By this point, Ben's insomnia no longer feels like a curse. His extra hours are filled with purpose, sketching, observing, and most importantly, discovering new love. The final part of the story begins with Ben fully embracing his identity as an artist. His frozen moments now serve as preparation for a future he wants to build. Sharon becomes the center of these visions, not because he objectifies her, but because she inspires him. One evening, Ben is sketching when Sharon walks in unexpectedly. She sees the drawings of her in his sketchbook. Instead of being offended, she is touched. She realizes how deeply he sees her, not just as a coworker, but as someone extraordinary. Their relationship begins quietly but meaningfully. They share time outside the supermarket, laughing, walking, and talking about their dreams. For Ben, it feels like he has finally escaped the pain of Susie's breakup. Time, once his enemy, is now a gift he wants to treasure. The film reaches its emotional peak when Ben narrates his philosophy. He explains that he once feared the endless hours of his insomnia, but he has learned that time is not his enemy. Time gives people chances to love, to create, to observe. The pain of the past, the endless nights, the frozen moments, all of them led him to Sharon. The final scenes show Ben and Sharon together, sharing quiet moments, their love growing naturally. In his voiceover, Ben concludes that time, no matter how strange or cruel it seems, can also be beautiful when you share it with the right person. And with that, the story closes. Not with fireworks or dramatic gestures, but with a gentle, truthful acceptance of love, art, and the passage of time. As the credits approach, Ben's voice leaves one last message. If you enjoyed this journey into time, love, and art, stay tuned for more stories. And if the film touched you, make sure to subscribe and wait for the next one.